second Devil Hunter Yohko build video. So this is her leg, and this is the leg that she's going to be putting all her weight on. So, carefully getting my knife out again, I need to cut a hole in here. Now, last video I mentioned that I accidentally kind of stabbed myself. I was working really close to my chest, and a little bit too closely because my hand slipped, and then I kind of nicked my, kind of pricked my my torso through my shirt. It wasn't anything serious or anything, but it was kind of goofy. So yeah, gotta be careful working with blades, So this is kind of hard here, trying to carve out a hole. So this is the leg she's going to be putting all her weight on, because of course the other is it out? Yeah, the other leg is going to be up in the air, so I need to make this solid, so I'm going to have to fill this with plaster. Okay, so vinyl tends to sag if it gets too warm, and so Shizuoka Prefecture is not so bad, but it does get pretty warm in the summertime. So, not nearly as hot as when I lived in Hyogo Prefecture, in the Kansai area. Gosh, that was freaking hot. Shizuoka is probably the easiest place to live in Japan. Like Nagasaki, they have like really mild winters, but it gets hot real easy, real quickly there. Plus they have lots of typhoons and such. Shizuoka, I think here where I live, Mount Fuji kind of protects us. A lot of storms get kind of pushed away. So here we go. So this looks good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything, but it just has to be hollow. So she's going to be stepping on not this foot, but this foot. Okay, so this is going to have to go in like this. And I got it backwards. There, that's how it goes. So I'm going to fill in plaster all the way down there, and it's going to go into her foot. But before that, though, I need to get a rod. So I need to get my pin vise, drill a hole through here, and just have it go straight up into the leg. Okay, that's the next plan of action. I had thought that the surface was perfect, but apparently not. It is a little bit flawed here. There are some air bubbles in the vinyl, so I'm going to have to just paint this over with some Mr. Surfacer 500. And hopefully this will fill in all those little tiny little bubbles. Yeah, I can see them when I paint it over here. That's not good. Go away, bubbles. Yeah, I was talking to my friend this past weekend, and he's telling me about how sometimes in vinyl kits that you might get some air bubbles, and I thought, well, gee, at least my kit's pretty darn nice. Don't have to worry about that. I didn't see any, but it turns out that there are some air bubbles. So, zoinks. So, fortunately they're not like in her face or anything like really super apparent. Oh yeah, put this down. There's some big ones here on her foot here. Just 3 big holes here. There. I might just sand this down. I don't know if I want to go over it with acetone. I have lots of scrap pieces here if I want to see what acetone does to vinyl. If it like really horribly, destroys it or something like that, that I'm not, something I'm not aware of. I want to test it out first. And there was some other places here on her arm here. I tried sanding it, but I figured I should probably just fill it in first and then sand it. I want to make this nice and smooth. Okay. There. That should do it. And then I'll just come back after a few minutes and see if it's leveled out or not. Okay. There. Okay. So the next step is I'm going over this with acetone to smooth it out and get rid of excess. And hopefully it's just going to remain in indentations. So I did it for this foot already. Just working on this arm here. And then move on to this this other arm here. So I've discovered something that's a little bit strange. With this leg here, you know, this fits in just fine, more or less. Now, the bend of her foot here, you know, if I set this up straight, let me adjust the camera here. If I have the tip of her toe flush with the surface, she's going to be bending forward considerably, and I'm not really sure if I should like just fill this up with a bunch of weights, maybe get some fishing weights or something. I'm not sure how to go about doing that. How should I do this? I think I should probably try to weigh it down on the bottom before I fill it in with plaster. Or I could have it more like this, but I don't want it to be kind of wobbly though. So, I want to have this more or less just kind of going straight and just kind of bending this way. Now, what I have here is, this is made by Wave. This is 2 millimeters, it looks like. So, I bought this at my hobby shop called Gitsville. And here, so it's slightly bent already, but you know, that's okay. So it's just this rod. It's going to go through her foot here. Now, my pin vise only goes up to like 0.8 millimeters, not even a full millimeter. But what I can do, I think, is get started with this, and then just drill it, hopefully, with this here. Now, unfortunately, this is from the United States, and so it's in this is 1/16. No, this is like, this is not metric, but I think I can just get the drill started with the pin vise and then do the rest of the way with this thing here. I did the math, and this comes out to be like 1.5875 millimeters. So this is just almost big enough, but it might be just kind of a tight fit, but that's what I want actually, I'm pretty sure. So this, I would like it to just kind of go through here. So that she's standing like, like this, and just have this go through the curvature of her leg. So, what I need to do also, of course, is to glue this into place. So, to do that, I got CA cement, which is what you're supposed to use with vinyl. Well, I might want to drill the hole first before I get started with gluing, though. I wonder. Yeah, let me think about this. Okay, let me just get started. Just do a little test hole with 0.8 millimeters. So this is my Tamiya drill set. And let's put this into the pin vise here. This is the largest I have. Okay. Now let's just kind of drill this. Don't want to get it at an angle or anything, but just alright, here we go. Let me get my dust catcher here. So let's just drill this kind of straight. It looks straight to me. Okay. There. Yep, and I can see it inside there too. Okay. Yeah. I think I might want to invest in just a larger pin vise and not resort to using a power tool. I don't know. Or you know, I don't really need to use a power tool. All I can do is just do it by hand, I imagine. Right? Yeah, who says I have to use a power tool? I just know that, you know, if you start using power on stuff like this, things might kind of get out of control easily. And you got a problem on your hands, right? Okay. So that's all the way in. Now, I don't know if this is gonna squeeze in or... No, it's not. I might have to go one more up. Let me do the calculations on this one. This is a... wait, are there two 1/16ths here? Oh, that's bizarre. I don't know why they did that. Alright, I think I might have to go to the Jumbo Insho Home Center and invest in a 2mm pin vise. I got back from Jumbo Insho and I got a pin vise. This is a bigger pin vise than the other one, because this one will only handle up to like 1.0 millimeters or something like that. This one goes up to 3.2. And they had a set which seemed kind of useful, but it only went up to like 1.9 millimeters. So this is 2.0. This is basically just all I need. Okay.
The new album sounds absolutely beautiful. Again, it's called See When Absent, out now. We would love to hear a couple more songs from it.
Okay, there we go. Let's drill this some more. There we go. Okay. Now I'll also have to drill a hole in the base. Yeah, this is gonna fit inside there perfectly. Great. So yeah, I'm gonna have to drill a hole in the base here. we go. So just have this coming up like this, and have this solid, totally solid. Maybe have this bent though, because this is going to have to go in like this. There we go. Cool, huh? Okay. So she's going to be leaning forward, so I should probably have this in the back here more, right? The deeper I go, the more solid that the peg is going to sit in there. Alright, come on. There. Okay, let's have this sit in here. See how far it goes. I should probably make it deeper. Okay, stay tuned. It's a tentative fit. It looks great. It stands up. This is how it's going to look. Nice. Okay, I've decided to just forego the weight. I think the plaster should make it heavy enough as it is, so I'm just going to keep it at that. So I need to wipe this off before I put it back. Don't want to make a mess. Okay. Now, okay. I'm gonna hold this until it dries. Okay, so she seems to stand up on her own just fine. That's pretty good. I'm relieved. So, of course, I haven't done anything with it yet. This is just a test fit. So, I spilled a little bit of the super glue, the CA glue, but I sanded off the excess, so it's no big deal. Next is plaster. This is made by Tomix, or I should say Tomi Tech. This is for scenery, for model railroads and such, but it's all the same stuff, right? So plaster's plaster, I'm sure. So yeah, it says to mix 2 parts plaster with 1 part water. So let's get started with that. Okay, so here we go. I've mixed it up, and what I should do actually is put something underneath this here in case it spills or something. I don't want to make a mess, right? So I got it in this measuring cup here, and it's looking rather plastery. This is my first time doing this, of course. So let's just slowly pour this in. Okay, got it most of the way filled up already. Let's just get a little bit more in here. Hopefully this doesn't expand or anything. There. Okay. Let's kind of smooth this in here. Kind of level it out a little bit. I'm sure it'll auto level as it sits here for a while, but there we go. So despite there being a hole in the foot, it's not leaking out at all. So that's good news. So it feels heavier for sure. a lot of weight, and that's good because the rest of the kit, her body, there's not going to be any weight, and it's just going to be really light and hollow. So this is the part I don't want it to warp and have her falling forward. That would suck. So, good. Good. So after this dries, I'll have to just let this stay. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I don't know, I'll probably leave it alone for a few days, and then get back to this. Okay, so it's been a week or so, or maybe more than that, since I filled this up with plaster. So this is totally filled up here, you know, most of the way filled up. Pretty nice. Okay. Oh wow, I just noticed that there's a little indentation there. Well, maybe I'll have to putty that up. Okay, so I want to fill the legs here, but they don't need to be heavy at all, right? Because she's not putting her weight on these legs. So, yeah, I glued this into place here. So, what I want to do, some people mention cramming, like newspaper and such inside. What I would like to do is just use some paper mache, which is basically like liquid newspaper. If you think about it, it's just kind of like newspaper type clay. So I'm going to open this up here, and then hopefully it doesn't make too big of a mess. Okay, just dump out some of this crap in here. Maybe I need more than that. Kind of making like this dust fly. That's not nice. Okay, so my hands are filthy. Okay, so I got my little Ray Evangelion bottled water here. There we go. I'm just gonna mix this crap up here. So now this stuff is the consistency of oatmeal, and I'm just gonna cram it in the hole here and kind of fill it up. Get in there. Oops. So this stuff is pretty lightweight, I think. It's not going to add a whole lot of weight to it, I don't think. So this just should help to solidify the leg, I believe. I hope. Just keep cramming it down in there. There. And I'm going to do the same thing for the arms here too. Because of course they're a lot smaller. I need to, yeah, I haven't attached the hands permanently yet. But I need to get a smaller spoon for that. Tamiya stir sticks work pretty well at cramming the paper mache into the smaller hole. I don't think I need to really do anything with her left arm, because there's not going to be any weight. You know, her right arm, she's going to be holding it up high. She's going to be holding her sword. I wouldn't want that to droop, but I'm pretty sure her left arm can be left alone. And I think I've maxed out, I think, this arm here. There. So just get rid of the excess and let this stuff dry. I'll probably give it about a week. Maybe I should fill this up more, I suppose. Fill it solid all the way up to the top. There. Yay. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the right arm after, or sorry, the left arm after all. because it is bent, so it might make it a lot more solid, so that's what I'm going to do. So I had marked like an L and R on the insides, but I think I can remember that her left arm is, the part is shorter than the right arm, so I'll be okay. So filling the limbs is now complete, and I'm going to finish this video here and then move on to the next stage. Thanks for watching. Bye.